Hey guys, it's Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. Today we're going to learn how to play Breed by Nirvana. So we are in standard tuning here, and this one's got some really fun riffs. Probably my favorite Nirvana song. So this one really rocks from head to toe. It's pretty cool. All right, but it's also not very hard to play. So let's take a look at it here. We're going to take a look at the solo as well too, which is a little bit more difficult to play, but other than that, you should have it in no time. So let's start here. We're going to start with this power chord here. Now, from basically, what that power chord is going to be at the second fret of the low E string. So, second fret of low E, fourth fret on the A and the D. Then you're just going to have the open E string. So you just lift up that index finger and then come back down with the chord. So we have this. So hit the chord twice. Open E, and then you're going to jump up here to the 5th fret, and you're going to play that same power chord, and when you do, you're going to slightly bend it, kind of just pull it down towards the 4s a little bit. So I have this. Back to the open E string. So I have this. So I should repeat that. So you can come up with the whole chord here and just hit the open E, and then bring it back down so that's not ringing out still. So that's probably the main riff of the song. It's the chorus. For the, well actually it's probably not the chorus, it's just the main riff. And then we have the verse, which sounds like this. So we'll do a bunch of that. So what he's doing there is borrowing the 11th fret across the D and the G, and just hitting all rapid downstrokes across those two strings. And then back up to the 10th fret on the D string and slightly bend it up. And put some really erratic vibrato on there. So it kind of still sounds like this, that note, but it sounds like kind of that note just being kind of a little bit flat and is kind of bouncing all over the place. And that's how he gets that effect. He backs up a fret and bends to it, and then does some crazy vibrato on it. All right, now, especially in this second verse, you're going to hear him not only hit those two strings, but he'll add the B string in to make it a full F sharp major chord. So you're going to hear that note in there as well sometimes too, especially in the second verse. Now after you've done that, he jumps down here and grabs the 2nd fret power chord off the low E string. That takes us into the chorus, which sounds like this. So it goes back in the riff. So those chords are going to be the D power chord. So that's going to be the open D string, 2nd fret on the G, and 3rd fret on the B. To the A power chord, which is the open A string, and then the 2nd fret across the D and the G. Then jump up here, and it's basically, he's doing the C power chord, and sometimes he'll get that note on the B string. So bar across the B string, G string, and the D string, while playing the 3rd fret on the A string. So you're going to play that, and then move it down to the next chord, which is the same thing, 1 fret lower. So like I said, you might get that note on the B string, not, sometimes. Sometimes you can just play the full power chord, which is basically those 3 bottom strings. So we have this. Down, up, down, up, down. Then down, up, down, up, down. Back to the main riff. then back to the verse, which I said before, kind of has that B string in there as well, across the bar. All right, so the only thing we really got to check out now is the solo. Now he uses a lot of octaves here and some tremolo picking. So let me go through that real quick for you. Here we go. Back to the chorus. So if you don't know what an octave shape is, we're going to start here at the 9th fret on the A string. But also grab the octave of that note, which is the 11th fret on the G. I like to grab it with my my pinky because you can move your hand, you can angle your hand differently and it moves around easier. So the 11th fret on the G, 9th fret on the D, and on the A string, and the D string is muted by the bottom of your index finger. So you don't hear it, you just hear those two outside notes, which are the same note an octave apart. And of course the other strings are muted by like the thumb and the remaining of the index finger, use the top strings, because you're doing some pretty wide picking. Now for the tremolo picking, you're going to want to maybe arc the wrist a little bit because it helps you get that angle and create a really loose wrist. If you did it like this, it's harder if you flatten the wrist, but if you bow it out a little bit, it's not a very natural position, but it makes this technique easier. And you just want to glide across the top of the string. So you do that for 3 measures. And then he plays a little, just hitting each one once. At the, I'm going to call out the note, the fret of the index finger, but the pinky or the top note will go along with it. So we have 8, 7, 5. So still doing octaves. All right, so he does that exact same kind of phrase, just on different frets now. Now we're going to jump up and do the tremolo picking on the 12th fret octave. And the notes we're going to play, the octaves after that, are the 11, 10, 8. All right, that same kind of pattern again. We're going to be at the 13th fret now. I'm sorry, the 15th fret for the octave, tremolo pick. And then 14, 13, 12. And then you're just going to come down here and grab the octave at the 5th fret for a while. And this is where the sound gets really chaotic. They start doing have a lot of noise in there. But he gradually starts sliding that up. And then transitions over to this octave right here. The octave shape's going to have to change a little bit because we're on different strings which are tuned differently. So it's the 16th fret on the D and the 19th fret on the B string. Still that string in between it has to be muted. And he does the tremolo picking. So he's kind of tremolo picking all the way up. And then we're back to the same chorus riff. All right, so that's about it for all the guitar parts in Breed. It's a really fun song that just has a ton of energy to it. So it's a lot of fun to play as soon as you get in with your fingers. All right, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for guitarlessons365.com.